Body. It is Juva Threet Alexander, and you are watching the Purpose Conversation. Okay, so all week long, first of all, how y'all doing this evening? I'm going to wait just a few minutes to allow some of you guys to come into the room. I know that it is the middle of the week. Typically, I don't have, the middle of the week type of purpose conversations, but tonight's show, it's near and dear to my heart, and I'm really excited about you to meet this person. So I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to come on. I want to say hello to all of you on watching on Facebook Live. Hello to all of you that are watching on YouTube Live. What's up, YouTube? And in a minute, I'm going to bring in my special guest. But before we do that, I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to come on into the room. Come on in, come on in. You know how we do. I want you to I want you to share this with your friends, your family. Tonight, specifically, my purpose friends, if any of you have ever had a dream or you've had something on the inside of you, you knew that there was something greater, something more. Maybe you have overcome maybe you've overcome trauma. You've overcome some rough, rough and tough just stuff. You know how sometimes life just takes us down all sorts of avenues and we've experienced all sorts of things. Well, I want to talk to my purpose friends tonight that have maybe overcome some stuff. And maybe you've overcome, but you still find yourself to be a little stuck. You know that there's something greater for you. You know that there's something more destined for you to do. And you're just stuck. You can't seem to find the motivation or what have you, or maybe you just simply don't know the next steps. So tonight's show specifically, I want to introduce you to absolutely amazing woman that I actually met a couple of years ago. Now, before I get into the background of her and just kind of explain to who this amazing woman is, I just want to just share just a little bit. Um, anyway, the guest, her name tonight is Skyla Jenkins, and y'all have seen all of the promos, and it's so funny because just last night I was speaking to my mother, and I always have to send her a quick message, and I'm like, okay, well, mom, the show is this time, and and most of the time she never ever catches it live. I always have to send her a link for the repeat, or either have to send her a YouTube link. And for those that are watching me, catching us on repeat or on the YouTube link, what's up, y'all? This applies to you tonight too. But anyway, my mom, she was like, so who is that? Who are all these gorgeous people that had these amazing bodies coming on your show? And I just laughed. I was like, well, all of them are not coming on. Actually, it is the CEO of Hudson Newkirk. And anyway, I guess now I'll put on my little spectacles because I want to be able to kind of share a little bit of the bio of Miss Skyla Jenkins. First of all, she is the founder of Hudson Newkirk, and that is a lingerie and apparel company, and it caters to men and women of various shapes and sizes. And the thing about Skylar, she's so all of my fellow creatives, you gotta be on your game to do those improv roles. And we're gonna talk about some of her most recent film projects. And if the name sounds familiar, she is an active on-air personality at Hits 92.3 ATL, where she's a co-host for the Bonnie in the City show. Y'all, you guys know it. She is, what else can I say about Skylar? She's an overcomer. You know how I said, hey, how many of you have been overcomers? You've overcome some tragedy or you've overcome just stuff that life has thrown your way. But what I find about her story, and you guys know how I am, I am a transparent speaker because I believe that transparency, it speaks to the heart of us people in general. But the thing about Skylar is that she went from being homeless, living in sheltered for battered women, to having a corporate career, earning a very lucrative salary, and becoming a business owner. And I can tell you the one thing about Skylar, she always expresses how she will never forget where she came from. And that absolutely speaks volumes. There's so much that I can say about her, but at this time, you know what? I usually have my little theme song, and but you know what? Tonight, this one, she's the theme song all by herself. Let's give us a little drum roll and a little uh hand clap, and we are going to bring Miss Skyla Jenkins in just a second here.
Hey.
Hey! Hello,
How
hello,
are
hello.
you?
I am great. Welcome to the Purpose Conversation, Skyla.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm glad that you were able to come. You look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And
You
I know that
too.
this is Thank you. I know this has been a busy time for you. I am so ready to probably jump into all of the things that you're doing. Um, but oh my gosh, because you have been a busy lady. I've been watching you. I'm always watching. My eyes are always glued to purpose. And I know that you have been doing some things out here in Atlanta and the surrounding areas, period. And I want to just tell you congratulations. I've kind of watched this. I've watched Hudson Newkirk just kind of grow and grow and grow. And, I know, girl, I know your business had to pick up, especially during the downtime and pandemic when people are ordering stuff. So I
Yeah.
just want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. You know what? I want to go ahead. We're going to just kind of jump in here because I want people to know about you and all of the amazing things that you are doing and different things that you're involved in. It's very important for me when I have guests to come onto the show. I mean, we could talk purpose all day, and we will definitely talk purpose, but it's so much important for me to be able to show people what purpose looks like. So let's just kind of kick it off, Skylar. First of all, who is Skyla Jenkins?
Hey everybody. Well, Skyla Jenkins. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. We have an amazing family. I'm someone who's very, very driven. You gave my bio there with my history of coming from a very small town in North Carolina. I've always been that person that had like bigger dreams. Small town is just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So like shortly after high school, yeah. So shortly after high school, I ended up moving to Virginia, and I was there maybe about 4 or 5 years. And then I moved here in the Atlanta area in 1995. So I'm an official peach, kind of,
Yeah.
because I've been here for a long time. But came here. I went to school, did a lot of different things, and I work in biotechnology. That's my background. Is clinical research. I work for a pharmaceutical company. So that's the business side of me. On the other side, that's not so glamorous per se. It's more technical, but I love it. I enjoy what I do. But yeah, so I had my time in life where I married really early at a really early age, and I went through some trials there with domestic violence. And so I was very young. I was like 17 young.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I went through a lot there with that, and just trying to get myself together, and being homeless, because I left the person. Just being homeless and with my son at the time, just trying to get myself together was a major challenge for me, especially being young. And then that was in Virginia. And then when I moved here, I was also homeless as well. I was living in a shelter for battered women here in Atlanta. And so it was something to go through something like that, because I'm in a strange place, don't know anybody, and I'm young,
Right.
and I'm just trying to make it. So, but yeah, but I've always had that strength. I've always been a person of faith. So I know
Mhm.
for a fact, I was like, God, I know you're there. I may not be that person that's in a church every Sunday or anything like that, but I'm a huge
Mhm.
believer. I know that He is a higher power. So, yeah, because He brought
Oh
me
yeah.
through a lot.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? And it's funny
But
because the
I'm
the thing
excited to
that
be here.
I'm very excited for you to be here. And you know what? I thank you so much for being just transparent. Because like I said, I believe that our transparency, people can relate to it.
Yes.
And especially when, someone thinks about, they look at all the different things that they might have experienced in life and things that might have, you know, to deter them from pursuing what it is that they wanted to truly do. Now you said that you always, you were a dreamer, and even as a little girl, what did you want to do? What did you want to be when you were a little girl?
That's funny because I actually wanted to be a physician.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted to be a physician, but I was just that person that couldn't stay in school that long.
They do stay in school a
So,
long time.
yeah, but I've always had the love for the medical field. So, didn't, become a physician, of course, but end up still following the path in the medical field. So that part I do love. And I actually train doctors. So, which is, so
Okay.
that's great. It's fun. So, yeah.
That in itself is pretty interesting, because it's like, okay, well, this is what you dreamed of doing as a little girl, but somehow it's still kind of, kind of
Aligned.
sort of aligned. So
Yeah.
that's not bad. So to
Yeah.
tell me, what is your definition of purpose? What does purpose look like to Skyla?
My definition of purpose is really following your focus. And that's why I feel like
Hmm.
you have to be so careful with what your focus is. Because I've
Mm.
always told my kids, whatever you focus on will be your reality. So you want to make sure that your focus is the positive, that is
Mhm.
leading you into a right, a good direction, that is bringing you some positive value out of it as well. So that's what it means to me.
That is very, you know what? I haven't heard it put like that, but you're
Mhm.
absolutely on point. Because I know, I mean, and I talk purpose all the time, but one thing that I do and know about purpose, you got to have laser sharp focus.
Absolutely.
You've got to be able to focus on that thing that that's on the inside of you. And so that's a very that's a I love your definition, and you can never ever go wrong with focus.
Right.
um now if you would tell me a little bit, because I know Hudson Newkirk. I want you to tell us exactly, how did Hudson Newkirk start? The name Hudson Newkirk, it's catchy. It's not like a Victoria's Secret. Hudson Newkirk, it sounds, I don't know. It's like it kind of rolls off the tongue. It's like very distinguished, and it's both feminine and it's both masculine. Where did Huskin? How did we come up with Hudson Newkirk? What made you go into this particular field and to come up with this company, with this thriving company?
Well, I've always wanted to have a company that I felt like would really build self esteem for women, make them feel glamorous, and give them confidence. So the name Hudson Newkirk, it actually stems from my family. It's my great grandmother and my grandmother. It's my great grandmother, Emma Hudson, and my grandmother, Rosa Newkirk, so on my
Oh,
mom and my dad's side. So I'm representing both sides of my family. And of course, giving homage to the two of them. And I didn't know either one of them, I didn't get a chance to meet them. They both, were deceased before I was born. But it's just the fact that I've heard so many great stories about both ladies. They were beautiful.
oh,
They had style. They just were just fun people. They just had a lot of great characteristics characteristics that I loved about both of them. So I just fixed their names together and came up with Hudson Newkirk. And of course, putting beautiful ladies in wonderful garments at the beginning. That was my initial thing before I even added a men's collection to represent Rosa Newkirk and Emma Hudson so well. So that's how I came up with it. And I'm excited. I just feel like as women of color that we're underrepresented in the industry when it comes to
Yes.
lingerie. So that was one of the reasons. And another one is because also I believe one thing we say at Hudson Newkirk is everybody is sexy.
Yes.
Everybody, every shape, hue, age is sexy. So another thing I feel like is underrepresented is women past 35 or past 40. They feel like sometimes you're not sexy anymore. They're wrong. And
That's right.
yeah, I have models. My models age from range, the early 20s all the way up to the early 50s. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, I just believe in that type of representation because you don't see that all over. I have from the very curvy to the very slim. I have fit models, that work out, that's got the muscles, everything. And so I just wanted every type of woman to be represented with the brand.
and I'm gonna tell you now. I got my Hudson Newkirk piece. I absolutely love it. And I actually caught a couple of your shows that you did on live, the different
Mhm.
live feeds. And you are right. Her models are all shapes and sizes and hues. And it is like, and I love a good coming to see a show, a modeling show, and watching them go hit that runway. I absolutely love it. And to be able to do it virtually and see it, I was enjoying myself. I'm sitting there like, girl, yes, work that. And I think, and I love the good quality, good customer service, all
Thank
of
you.
that. So, and I love the whole idea or the catchphrase that everybody is sexy. And you are
Yeah.
absolutely right. And it's yeah, you got some really, really, really nice pieces.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome. Now I know that if you could tell me, what are you guys up to right now at Hudson Newkirk? I know for sure you just had a fashion show.
Mhm.
I believe it was on Sunday, right? Was it Sunday or was it
It,
Monday?
it was actually was it Sunday?
Or
Yes, it was Sunday.
okay.
Yeah, it was Sunday. It was awesome because I'm just gonna backtrack just a little bit because, of course, because I do have men now. I came
Yes.
out with the men collection like in June 2020, and I
Oh,
added like my Hudson Newkirk signature collection, which is pretty much garments and lingerie with the Hudson Newkirk name on it. So I'm excited about that because my male models, they're awesome. They're different ages. I got some over 40. I got some in their 20s. Um, so it's exciting just to see what that brings too because I'm getting kind of creative with the men's collection. I have the boxer briefs and stuff like that. So it's been exciting. So I did have a couple of my guys who was in the fashion show too on Sunday.
oh.
And it was a great show. It was really fun. I love it.
Oh, Skyla, what did you have it recorded somewhere? I hope you're able to share it somewhere so that I can check it out because I love a good fashion show. And I have seen some of the guys, I've seen some of your different promos, and you've got something different here, lady, and I absolutely love it. I
Thank
absolutely love
you.
it.
Thank you. But yes, I do have some footage. That I'll probably be pushing that out maybe tomorrow, Friday, because I was waiting on some other people to send me some video too. So I'm kind of put some things
Mhm.
out and start popping out a little bit of the footage because everybody looked so beautiful and it was fun, and a couple of them that was their first time walking and they was like, oh, that was so fun, it was cool, thank you. And yeah, so it was exciting.
Yeah, and fashion shows, they are kind of fast paced and they are fun and you're bouncing and you're just on go. So yeah, it's fun to watch, and I can imagine it is. Well, it's definitely even more fun to be a part of the experience. And I
Yeah.
absolutely I love this collection. Love
Thank
this collection.
you. Yay.
Now I know that you do a few other different things, but I want to talk about starting your own. You described yourself. I saw where you describe yourself as a serial entrepreneur. And I
Mhm.
like that because I think of that, many of us, well, maybe not many of us, but there are several of us that have we're multi-passionate about
Mhm.
several different things.
Right.
When did you decide that, hey, you were just going to absolutely go for it? I know of someone personally right now, and she is in her early 60s. She has had an idea for a lingerie line and pajamas type of thing for, I know, for at least the last 12 or 13 years. And
Wow.
she's a seamstress, an incredible seamstress. She does this on her own.
Oh, that is
I want
dope.
you to speak to someone that's like her, that's sitting on those gifts. What made you decide to say, I'm gonna just go for it? I'm gonna create this, I'm gonna do this thing. And maybe any type of advice or encouragement that you can give her. And I'm gonna make sure she sees this one because she's out on vacation right now, but I'm gonna make
Okay.
sure she sees this.
Yes, I would definitely tell her to go for it. Don't procrastinate because one thing about it, all the other lingerie big companies out there, what's her name, Rihanna, she didn't let Victoria's Secret stop her. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I know she has like a bigger platform, but still, if you get into the mindset that, oh, it's too many out there, oh, it's, the big box people, you'll never do anything. Because at the end of the day, you still need to stand out for what you're doing and your brand. And the fact that you said that she's a seamstress and she can just put
Yes,
her spin on it and give her creativity to it and make it as unique as she is, oh yeah, it'll definitely sell. So you just have to go for it. Don't let anyone or anybody stop you or feel like, oh, it's like it's saturated with so much of this and that, because it's going to be a reason why people purchase from you.
that's right.
I always
Oh, you know
tell
what?
people
Mhm.
that, yeah, because I always tell people that you being you is your superpower because no one else can be you. So that's your superpower. So whoever I am and what I bring to the table, yeah, because whoever Skyla is and what I bring to the table, the next person can't do it. So you're gonna want something from me anyway because of what I'm doing, because I'm different. I'm bringing this different energy, these different vibrations versus the other person. They got something else, and guess what? You're gonna probably buy from them too because they got something different that you want. But it's always, always good to just stay true to yourself and true to you and who you are because that's your superpower. Mhm.
That's good stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you said that. I'm going to share this tad bit about her um, because I want you to confirm in her that it's okay. She is a pastor, and she has been afraid that, that church women, like us church women, that we don't want to look sexy. Church women want to be sexy too. Skylar, could you please
Absolutely.
tell her that the church women that it's
Absolutely.
okay to go to church and be sexy, and it's okay to be a
That's
pastor
right.
and still be sexy?
Yes, absolutely. Still want to be sexy at all times. And especially if you have that husband at home that you want to be sexy for. Absolutely.
That's right. I had to just put it out there so she knows exactly who the heck it is that we're talking about. And I thank you for encouraging her and encouraging other people, because I guarantee you there's somebody that's afraid of what someone else may think, or they feel as if, oh, there's too many of people doing that. I run across that a lot with people that are, writing books, or
Yeah.
people that, have all sorts of businesses, but
Mhm.
there can never be too many. I think about someone that I know that owns like a black owned coffee company.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have Starbucks and we have Dunkin' Donuts and we have this, that, and the third, but we don't have you.
That's
We
right.
need you.
Yeah.
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 So I really and truly like that. So, now I know that you do a few other things. One of the things that I mentioned through your bio is that you are an actor. And I need to tell you, congratulations. I know you probably can't speak on it very much or speak specifically details, but I saw your booked it. Tell us what you recently booked. What are you up to, Skylar, in this acting game?
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Got some projects coming in work. I will be in an upcoming movie that's gonna start filming in September. We'll be filmed right here in the Atlanta area, and I have the supporting role of the character Misty. So I'm excited. So that's all I can really say about it, until all the details. So I have the approval to say anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited about it.
Well, congratulations. I cannot wait. And I can't wait to be able to kind of hear some more. And I know that you can't spill all the beans, but I know that it's going to be good. And I know you're going to absolutely kill it. I absolutely love
Yes,
that.
thank you so much. And then, of course, I do plays as well. So I'm also in the hit stage play, The Shell of a Man with Tina Bridges. It's produced by her. So that's coming up
Awesome.
next month, August the 13th and 15th. So yeah, check that out. They got
Where are
tickets
you guys?
available.
What stage are you hitting?
That's gonna be at Colorful Creations in Marietta. And
Okay.
the tickets are on Eventbrite, and the show's, like I said, August 13th, 15th, and there's still tickets available. So check it out. It's a couple of shows, and it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. Well, Skylar, you're going to have to make sure that you give me that information again because I'm going to go back and put it in the show notes. So,
Okay.
usually how it is, once the tickets are gone, they're usually gone.
Yes, because
So
this,
I
I'm
think,
telling you, this
I need to
production.
probably check my calendar, but I'd love to be able to see it.
Yeah, because this production, it sells out. We had four sold out shows before COVID. So yeah, it's a really really great play. It goes through and talks about 8 different men and what they're going through, and their wives dealing with the problems with them: jealousy, alcoholism, molestation, and some of these men is their real life story. So it's
Oh,
very
wow.
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Skylar, I don't even know if oh my gosh, I may have to plan a road trip because I think I want to check that one out. I want to check that one out. Not unless you guys are going to hit the road or you're going to travel a little bit, which I guess is possible.
Well, that is in the works. That's in the works. Because that was actually in the
Okay.
works pre-COVID, but it's back in the works now. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want to talk just a little bit because I know people have a variety of interests. One of the things that you do, you are a co-host on the radio station. Could you tell us a little bit about that and tell us how did you land this particular role, this job, and what is it about radio? Because I love radio. I think it's fun. What is it about
Yeah.
radio that you absolutely love? And let's share how maybe if someone is interested, how they can get involved too.
Sure. It's very similar to how I like acting because, in the acting world, you get to meet so many different new people. And it's the same thing for me with radio. You get to interview so many different people from being, an author, actors. I just had an actor and an author on last week, singers, anything, business people. I just love meeting different people and networking with them. So that's the big part of it for me that I absolutely love. I got into it because I actually reached out to the host of the show, Siobhan Fleming, which is the little kick spin off her name, Bonnie in the City. One day
Yeah.
because I just love her show. I went to her show for something else. I promoted myself. And I just reached out to her and said, "Hey, are you looking for a co-host?" And because I just loved her show just that much. And she was like, "Actually, I am." And it was just funny how it happened. And she sent me the information and everything and asked me if I was still interested. I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So it just kind of happened like that. And she's such a sweet person. And so I love it. And then the fact that we're part of a Black woman-owned radio station is huge to
Yeah.
me. So Kels Mungen is the owner of the radio station. I love it. She's a very sweet person. And so that's big because you don't see too many of those in the Atlanta area. I think she might be number 2 or 3. So yeah,
Okay.
that says a lot to me. It's a lot of different great shows that's on the station. So, but I love it. It's fun.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome. So for all of you guys that have a dream that you would love to go on radio or anything like that, or maybe this is something that you went to school for, and you are like, I'm speaking to my niece. Maybe you went to school for this, and you're just sitting on your dreams. You're sitting. Skyla just picked up the phone and she just made it happen. Sometimes you have to step outside of the box and just go for it. And she sold herself. Hey, sometimes we have to ask for specifically what the heck it is that we want, right?
Absolutely. Yes, you're right.
You know what?
Because
So I'm going to take a second and say hello to some of our purposes that I see that have popped in. And
okay.
anyway, I want to say hello, hello, hello to all of my purpose friends. I see you guys out there. What's going on, Miss Beautiful, Amazing Monica? I see you, Duchess L. Joy. I see you, Miss Kathy. And let's see, Duchess Joyce. She says, I love being a radio host too. It was freedom for me. I found my voice and confidence when I created and host my own radio show.
Yes,
That's,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
It takes some confidence to be on radio though, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. But I wanted to say hello to my purpose friends. I thank you guys always for just tuning in and for supporting and for liking and sharing. I didn't want to go by without saying hello to you. And if you have any questions of Skylar and I, go ahead and put them there in the chat and we'll kind of cover them. And even if you are watching this on repeat, guys, feel free to go ahead and fill up that chat box. I'm sure Skylar will come back and check in and we'll kind of go back and answer questions and things that you may have. But Skylar, I want to talk a little bit about something that you mentioned. Now, I know that you said that you were you overcame domestic violence, but there's one thing that you do that I find it very inspiring. You not only overcame that situation, but for the past 18 years, you have been diligently being a part of something much bigger probably than yourself, and you have given back into the same type of women that you were at one particular time, and you do a lot with the domestic violence community. Can you please speak on that a little bit? What is it that you do? How, and if someone needs help, you know what do they need to do? What's the first step? What do we do?
Well, if people need help, they're in a domestic violence situation, they need to call the National Domestic Violence Hotline number. They even have like a website for it. That's one thing that we always tell our ladies. I am a volunteer facilitator with the Women's Resource Center out in DeKalb County, and I've been doing that for over 18 years now. And what I do essentially is they say we can't say that we counsel the women. So I just always say I mentor them. And basically, I got to the point where I was able to be a survivor and share my story and then listen to other women's story and then help them get out of their situations. And also just be there for them, just to be an ear. Sometimes they're not ready to leave. So you just have to understand that and just listen to them and just give them all the safety information that you can possibly provide for them. And sometimes they have kids as well. But that's what I do. And of course, after COVID has hit, we've been doing it via Zoom. So we'll have Zoom meetings with the ladies. They're coming there. They still are in a safe place and they can discuss whatever is going on with them at that time with us as a facilitator. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for that. And I appreciate you doing and pouring into other women and just being that listening ear and being a mentor. That I think that is that's brave and it's you're giving. And I thank you for that. I thank you for that. And thank you for letting us know that, hey, we definitely need to call the hotline. And I'll make sure that I put that information in the show notes as well, because sometimes people just don't know where to start,
Yeah.
or they know, but they haven't had anyone to just kind of put it in their face and say, hey, you need to do this. And
Mhm.
maybe if they watch this and they know that they're experiencing something that's going on, it will kind of strike something inside of them and say, well, hey, maybe I need to at least make a call, or let me at least, get online and see, what's available as far as help. So thank
Right.
you very much for that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Because people think I feel like people, they look at you and they may look at where you are now. They didn't see that struggle. They didn't see when
right,
I had nothing and when I didn't know when my next meal was coming from, literally.
right,
You know what I'm saying? They didn't see that. They just see all the glitz and the glamour. Oh, she looks so happy. She's married. Nah, it was a lot to get to where I am now. So, and it took a lot for me to even gain the confidence to even want to mentor women that went through the same thing I did. But, that was
wow,
another step that I had to conquer and get over. So I always tell people, don't judge a book by its cover, because you never know what someone has really gone through and overcame. Because, yeah, that was something.
yeah. Let me tell you. So, do you find that you found a different level of healing in mentoring?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yes. Like
yeah,
sometimes you can see yourself in the person.
yeah,
Especially one young lady that I was mentoring and talking to her, it took so much out of me not to cry, because I literally saw myself, her being so young, her whole situation. And, I just want to just snatch her up and just, get her out of there. And but people they have to get to that place on their own, or else they're just going to repeat it. But, you
right,
just really try to be that voice of reason and that support for them, because it's not easy sometimes, because sometimes you're staying because of financial. That was one of the reasons why I stayed. And then also your children, another reason why I stayed. It's so many
right,
different reasons, because it's so many different women from walks of life. You got, pastor wives that's in there. You got doctors that's in there. You got, all kind of different people that you wouldn't even believe is the face of homelessness or the face of domestic abuse. So it's
right.
it's something to yeah, it's something to deal with, but it's something definitely to overcome for sure.
Wow, wow. Give me one second here, Skylar. Let me see what's going on. Make sure that I'm not losing any battery. Just give me one second here, Sky.
Okay.
There we go. All right. I was sitting up here. I was like, okay, I think my laptop. I'm seeing the little battery thing. What's going on? Sometimes you're like, okay, when you're live and you have technical issues, I'm like, okay, God, please not tonight. Let's see what's going on. But I think we
I
we are we
understand.
are yeah. Thank you so much for that, though, Skylar. And just kind of, yeah, thank you for that. I guarantee you there is somebody that needed to hear exactly what it is that you shared. Thank you.
You're
Let me
welcome.
lighten it up a little bit. Give me a Skylar fun fact. Something somebody don't know.
Ah, something somebody don't know. Well,
Or something that we'd be surprised to know. And I guess a lot of my purpose friends are just coming to
okay.
meet you anyway. But give us a fun fact.
Well, something that I feel like people probably be surprised that I love shooting a gun. I'm a gun owner and I love going to the gun range. So
Okay.
yeah, I am that person.
Okay. That's kind of cool. And I can see you playing a role too in maybe being some sort of undercover cop or something. And that's probably just the creative writing brain that I have. And I'm like
Yes.
creating a character, but I can definitely see you now that you mentioned. I'm like, yeah. like like
That would be
Charlie's
pretty
Angels
cool.
4.0.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think I would like a role like that.
Ah, I'll write it. I'll write it. Okay. And because I am a words girl and I love words, I love quotes. And as a matter of fact, I think there was a quote that you have just in like your signature line in your email, and I
Uh-huh.
use that in one of the promos. But tell me, even if it's changed today, because I have different quotes that I love, like every day, every other day. Oh, this one's my favorite, and then that one's my favorite. But what is your favorite quote, or a quote that kind of like encourages you, pushes you, motivates you? What is Skylar's quote of the day?
That's it. That's my favorite quote, which is change your thoughts, change the situation. Which I'm a firm believer in. It happens in your mind first, whatever it is with your life. Because you think of it first. And so when you manifest it here, it's gonna definitely manifest on the outside and what you're doing. So I'm a firm believer in that. That's why it's so important to really get your mind to the point that you're focusing and thinking positive thoughts, that you're thinking towards manifestation and goodness with it, not focusing on problems, but focusing on solutions to those problems.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's one of the things. It's all about those thoughts to me, because thoughts become actions.
That's good. And I absolutely love that quote. So yeah, I like that. I like that like actually a lot. And but
Yeah.
because it is true. You change your thoughts, because I'm telling you what the mind conceived, you definitely can absolutely totally achieve it.
Oh,
And so
absolutely.
I love that. I love that quote. So yeah, that was a good one. Now, um, where can we find you? What all are you now? I know that you do a lot, but what do we have next coming up for Hudson Newkirk? I know that we talked a little bit. We did discuss your current role in the play that you're doing, and I know that you guys are going to be hitting the stage here in a couple of weeks. And but where can we find you? What are you doing right now, or how can we connect with you?
Well, you can find me. Yes, you can find me. Everybody can connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram is the real underscore Skyla Jenkins. You can always connect and with me there, see what I got going on. Hudson Newkirk, you can connect with Hudson Newkirk on Instagram as well and Facebook, at Hudson Newkirk. I'm also on Facebook too, but I spend more time on Instagram more so than Facebook, and I use it for different things. But yeah, they can find me there and catch up what Skyla's got going on there.
Absolutely. And you guys, make sure that you bless the business and bless yourselves, you bless your loved ones, and go get yourself something pretty, something sexy, something unique, something just for you at
Yeah.
hudsonnewkirk.com. And yeah, she has some nice pieces, some really, really, really nice pieces. So I think you'll
Thank
be
you.
pleased, right? Okay. Any shout outs? Who are we shouting out tonight? There's always shout outs.
I know it's always shout outs, right?
Yes.
Yes. I would like to give a shout out to Siobhan Fleming, because like I said, she is an amazing person, Bonnie the City on the radio show. She does also like speaking engagements. She has a book out called Good Grief. And what it does, it tells her story about how she, give people different coping mechanisms to deal with, the loss of someone special. It came to her
Oh,
after she lost her husband so abruptly one time when they were actually on vacation. So yeah,
wow.
yeah, it's an incredible story. So big shout out to her, because I couldn't even imagine, so
Yeah,
that kind of strength just to keep going, so
right.
big shout out to her for that. And then also would like to give a shout out to Rosetta Bell. She's the owner of Pompour Velvet Rooms, Pompore, Georgia, and that's an adult toy line. And it's also they bring a lot of sexy, a lot of good things. That's someone that I partner with for a fashion show that we did in April. And now she wants
Love
to
it.
do it again with me next April 2022. So I'm excited. It was a big turnout. It was really, really nice, that particular show. It was risque and it was more like a pop-up place because it was a lot of vendors, a lot of people came out
Oh,
and purchased, and Hudson Newkirk did the fashion show for it. So big shout out to Rosetta Bell, her and Rodney. They're over there doing big things at Pompore.
love
I
it.
also would like to give a shout out to Tina Bridges for doing her thing out there. She does a whole lot. You know, producing, she's here, she's there, she's everywhere. But big shout out to her because she is the owner of TLA, the Lingale agency for models 40 and over. So she gives people that exposure who's 40 and over that people feel like they've forgotten in the industry. So she gives
Mhm.
them people that platform to do lots of things. So big shout out to Tina Bridges for doing her thing. Um, one more shout out. Is that okay?
You can give as many as you want.
Okay.
I love it.
And I know they're like, oh my God, who else you gonna talk about? But
Go ahead, girl.
but yes, I would like to give a big shout out to our customers, all of our customers out there, all our supporters out there of Hudson Newkirk. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for everything you have done for the brand. We see you, we hear you. We're trying to do a lot of little different things, but I appreciate your support. So thank you so much for shopping Hudson Newkirk, following, doing your shouts outs, resharing, reposting. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. 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 Well, Skylar, I'm going to put back on my glasses and see if anybody had any questions.
Okay.
Um, he refreshed the room here. All right, y'all being just a little quiet this evening. More than likely, it's like I said, it's a Wednesday. Quite a few of my guests that they come back and they catch us on repeat. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'll ping you or something, or maybe they'll, how it, maybe they'll go ahead and tag you, and so you know that there's a question or something waiting for you. But I thank you for coming in this evening and just chatting it up with me, taking time out of your busy schedule. I thank you so much. I'm hoping that you know, I can, well, you know what? You have the play coming up. I may have to come to Atlanta for at least one show. So but if not, I know I have a feeling that we're gonna be doing some other things. I might have to go ahead and write that role for you so that you can carry your gun. But I thank you so much for just I thank you so much for just coming on. It has been an absolute honor and a privilege to have you on tonight. I thank you so very, very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. Um, any final words or final thoughts before we tell everybody good night?
I would like to say, whatever dream you guys have, whatever you want to do, go for it. Don't let anyone stop you from what you want to do. You're never too old. You're never too young to start your dream. So keep dreaming and keep grinding.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. All right, Purpose Friends, it has been real. I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you for watching on repeat. I thank you for sharing. And I want to tell you to come back again next week. Next Wednesday, I'm going to have another great guest, Prince Raheem. You guys may have know him, but you don't know him like you really, really want to know him now. And but we're gonna talk purpose and gonna dig into some projects. But once again, I thank you guys for tuning in. This is Juva 3 Alexander, and that's Skyla Jenkins. And you were watching the Purpose Conversation. I want to encourage you for the remainder of the week. Please continue to seek, discover, and pursue your purpose. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye now. Good night.